Hey, recruiting and staffing founders, Diane Prince here. Let me make sure that I am live. I probably am. Yep. Oh, here we go. It's Friday afternoon when I'm recording this, or when I'm going live. So might not be the best time, but I'm doing it anyway. Okay, is it happening? Is it on my LinkedIn? I don't know, but let's just get going and it'll catch up with us. Okay, so today I am going to talk about how, and I'm going to swear, okay, because it's just fitting. We're going to talk about how to unfuck your biz dev. I talk to recruiting and staffing founders daily, and I'm looking, I'm not a great profile shot here. Okay, so we're going to talk about your biz dev habits in your recruiting and staffing business and how to get yourself unstuck, unfucked, whatever you're going to say. I'm not going to say the F word again. I might, but I'll try not to. Okay, so here's what this means. I talk to a lot of recruiters, recruiting founders who are really, really good at what they do at recruiting. And the problem is people don't know, not enough people know how good they are. In other words, they're not getting the sales that they need. They're getting inconsistent new client acquisition. They're over relying on the same clients, 1, 2, maybe 3 clients that are a large percentage of their business. And they're also end up taking scraps. Sometimes I even hear that they're doing splits that aren't their own clients. So essentially they're not even really building a business, because if you're just picking up splits, unless they're with, if you have candidates that you want to plug into different roles, fine, but do not, if you're doing someone else's roles, then you're not building your own business. Okay, so biz dev is a habit and a lifestyle. So what does that mean? So clients will come to me and say, I don't have a system. Okay, and so we work on that and put together a system. But in the meantime, pausing because you don't have a system is perfectionism, and it's not going to move you forward. So yes, we put systems in place. That's awesome. And you do need to have, it's good to have a system in place. But the problem is, if you don't have a system in place, just start doing something, and do something every single day. There's a lot of different things that you can do as far as sales in staffing and recruiting. We have a unique business because we have candidates and clients become candidates, candidates become clients. We are a relationship business, and there are so many different ways to connect the dots between clients, candidates, people to get business. The problem isn't ways to get business. The problem is consistency. I know sometimes the market, maybe today the market isn't great. Like 3 years ago, it was really pretty easy to get clients. It's not so easy now. This is the time when a lot of recruiters will stop. They'll say it's not working, and they'll stop their business. So this is the time to stay consistent, because anyone who is going to survive dips is going to make it. Now is the time to build relationships. So so let's compare this to, so sometimes I'll talk to people and they tell me that they don't have consistent biz dev. And let me check here and see if there's any comments. Feel free to add your comments or add questions in the comments. So people come to me and say that maybe they have referrals, but they're not consistent, and they don't really know when they're coming in, or things aren't working. But then I'll ask, well, how did you get your clients? How did you get the clients that you have? And it interesting because they have usually stopped doing the things that brought in those clients. So you need to look at what has worked. Okay, so it might be one thing I hear often is, well, I get referrals, but referrals are inconsistent. Well, how do you make your referrals consistent? There are ways to do that. There are ways to set aside time every single day in order to do that. So what you need to do is, what I see often is a really low level of commitment of sales. So obviously you need to work on recruiting, you need to work on filling your roles, and you also need to consistently, even if you don't like it, if you don't like sales, if you're better at recruiting, sales is the lifeline of your business. And if you're changing your strategy every day, you're trying something new. I'll hear cold email doesn't work. Okay, cold email works because I've recently gotten clients in this bad market with cold email, literally for a recruiter that has no website. Okay, because I do these things as well so that I make sure that I'm current and know what's working. Okay, so I am here to tell you cold email works. It's not what I would rely on 100%, but there's no reason to not have that operating in the background. But what I'll talk to people who are like, okay, well, my cold email is not really working. Well, how long have you been doing it? A month? That's often. It's a month, or I sent out 3. Sometimes it's 1. Sometimes it's like I reached out, I never heard back, they ghosted me. No, you have to be consistent. So if you are in that zone where you're like, I don't have a system. Okay. So the only thing you need to do is, well, not the only thing, there's other things to do, but what will really move the needle is you have to make BizDev a habit and do one thing every single day. It's like, if you can compare this to brushing your teeth. Okay. So it's like, I'll hear people say like, I did this campaign. I sent out these emails. I did this, look at this marketing campaign I did. Okay. And how often did you do that? And sometimes it's just once, or literally I've heard people say, I reached out and I haven't heard back. What does that mean? I reached out. A lot of times if I called them literally one time, I'm like, or sent them one email, I'm like, are you even kidding me? That is not a BizDev action unless it's consistent. Okay. So if you email a person, you got to keep emailing them. You got to email them. Assume they didn't see it. You got to call them. You got to send them a LinkedIn message. So just one outreach. It's like brushing your teeth and being like, oh, I did it. I'm never going to have cavities. I'm set. Like, I brushed my teeth, and being all proud of yourself. That is the same thing of doing one action, one campaign, one thing, and doing it once. So the thing about, if you want to build a successful business, and if you are a good recruiter, you have got to let people know that you're there and what you do. I'm looking at my notes here. Okay, so it's your business habits. Okay, you must make BizDev a habit. Remember this, write this down. Sales is the lifeline of your business. Okay, it's the lifeline of your business. And it's very easy to stop selling when you have orders flowing. A lot of people did that, and things were going crazy 2021. It was super easy to get orders, and a lot of people stopped doing BizDev. So even when you have a lot of orders, you have a lot of clients, keep on doing your BizDev. And by the way, someone I talked to this week mentioned when we were talking about sales, he talked about sales in the context of job orders. No, we're looking for anchor clients. We're looking for solid anchor clients that are going to, each anchor client can sustain your business, even if all of your other clients drop off. That is the goal, to get solid anchor clients if you're really building a business. Otherwise, you're going to be scraping for job orders. You're going to be competing with other agencies. No, that's not what we want. We want solid relationships with anchor clients. Okay, I took some notes here. I actually heard this podcast about fitness, and I'm like, okay, so much of that is in relate. So I'm gonna do similar podcast and relate that to BizDev, because look, it's like saying, like, okay, I did a cold email sequence and it didn't work. That's like saying I went to CrossFit for 2 weeks and I didn't gain muscles. You have to, if you do CrossFit every day or 3 days a week, 3 to 5 days a week, and you eat protein and lean and clean and whatever, you are going to look different. You're going to see results if you do that consistently for a year. Same with sales. So even, and it does not have to be perfect. So like, you work with me, we create a system, we talk about what you're going to do, we kind of lay out the options. But in the interim, like, don't wait until you have a system, just do it. One thing that you can do today is you can start by contacting people 5 minutes a day. If you do that 5 minutes a day, I guarantee you it will make a difference. Do that 5 minutes a day for an entire year. Okay. Past candidates, especially candidates that are in managerial and hiring positions. Past clients, that one's obvious, but clients who are at new companies, who have left their companies, they're at it in a new role. And people anybody who might know somebody who is in a company and that relates to your niche. So keep doing it every single day. If you're not, you're setting yourself up for failure. If you're doing it randomly, you're going to get random results, and you're going to end up in a situation where you don't have new clients coming in and you're stressed and your cash flow isn't good. And that this is one of the reasons why I like staffing, because then you have consistent revenue. Staffing can slow down as well, but when you have people that are actually working at clients, then you stack up the revenue, and that's a whole other conversation that we'll have. So, okay, just looking at my notes here, don't quit, and also separate yourself, because it is important to be easy on yourself. So separate yourself separate your self-worth from your whole business. And this is for people really who are good at recruiting. You just need a little bit of help. Like, you're good at recruiting and you just need a little bit of help letting people know what you do and showing people how good you are at recruiting. I'm looking at my notes to make sure that I didn't forget anything, but basically whatever you do it habitually, turn it into a habit, because if you don't think you have systems, you do have systems. Your systems just probably are not things that are getting you to where you want to be, right? Because your systems might be calling meetings every day about new ideas. Like, you might systematically, maybe you have a team and they're rolling their eyes because you've got a new idea. Okay, so stop with the new ideas every day. Focus on what you do best and let people know that you do it. So consistency is more important than perfection. You cannot stop and you cannot quit. It's just like exercise, brushing your teeth. Remember that. If you think about, like, okay, I'm not going to do 3 crunches and get abs. I'm not going to do 500 crunches and get abs. But if I do 25 crunches, maybe even 15, I don't know, every day, and I eat right, if I eat the things I need to eat every day, it doesn't have to be perfect. And some days, look, if I don't eat the right way one day, I'm not gonna gain 50 pounds in a day. But if I do that consistently for 3 years, I'm gonna gain 50 pounds. I know that because I've done it. So yeah, so ditch the perfectionism, set yourself up to be successful by every single day. And instead of looking at like, don't get overwhelmed by the big picture, like I need to have $5 million in revenue by this year. Look at, these are the actions that I took today. These are the things that these are the metrics that I hit. I did this much, these many messages or whatever. And if you are a founder and you're thinking, I shouldn't be doing this, well, you know what? You're probably not the founder of a public company or like Kelly or Manpower. And if you're the founder of a small business, then that's not hitting revenue goals, yeah, you need to be doing this because sales are the lifeline of your business. You need to have new clients, and you can consider all of the actions that you do are setting examples for everybody else on your team and setting up standard operating procedures, SOPs. So just remember, all the actions that you do are being reflected. People are watching. And if you don't even have a team yet, then use your actions as setting up systems for people once they onboard and join your team so that you can help make them successful. So anyway, TLDR, do it every day. Monotony is boss when it comes to sales, just like working out, just like, it's when you don't want to do it that it makes a difference. When you don't want to do it, that's a sign you need to do it. Okay. It's Friday afternoon. I don't really have makeup on. I'm like, I'm doing this LinkedIn Live because I said I'm going to do it because I'm being consistent. I'm showing up. I'm making my own habits. So anyway, I'm Diane Prince. I help staffing and recruiting founders build businesses to the point where they can exit them, just build a business to whatever their goals are. And I would look forward to hearing from you. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and message me if you're interested in details in working together.